Hello, my curious friends. It's Nikki from Dive into Curiosity, and we are going to go ahead and move into our next part of Spain, and that'll be scary monsters, ghost stories, and thriller figures. So this is a chunk that could go many different ways. A disclaimer that one of the people that we will be talking about did do some pretty horrible things to children. I will not go into extreme detail, but if you cannot stomach talking about people in that way, like murder, or this has murder, talking about things that she did to children. I won't go, like I said, I won't go into detail, but it's just a disclaimer that if you can't handle that, and that's, I don't judge for that, but it's just letting you guys know that I will be discussing somebody that did do horrible things to children. And that's because she's one of the thriller figures I found among my research. Also keep in mind, guys, that I do this because I love it, and that I love to share with you guys this knowledge, and I hope to spark your interest to also learn about other countries and other things that they have had as a history in their country, in that country, and as well as, like, if you're intrigued about ghost stories, this gives you some insight as to where to start. Also, again, it's things that pop up the most. I fully plan on maybe doing even more segments for specific towns. I might even say, hey, we're going back to Spain because I found some more interesting things that I'd like to share with you guys. Keep in mind, this is a very flexible channel, and I just want to be able to share this knowledge with you guys. And just as much as I enjoy it, I'm sure you guys probably enjoy it as well. That's why you're watching this. So let's just go ahead and dive in, okay? So we're going to go over the boogeyman of Spain, and we're going to go over the ghost stations of Barcelona, as well as the vampire of Barcelona. Creepy. So starting off, it will be the boogeyman. Okay, so we know of the boogeyman. Of course, just like any other like scary monster or creature, there's many different versions, and the way that people speak about it, tell it, so on and so forth. Now, for the boogeyman of Spain, this boogeyman is told in other Latin America. In other Spanish-speaking countries, such as Mexico, Chile, Guatemala, things like that. Places like that, excuse me. So, this is for Spain. And their boogeyman is called El Coco. So just imagine a child is going to bed, and maybe they've been quite disobedient during the day, and mom's had enough, and she's putting this baby down to sleep, and she tells a lullaby involving a dark figure who comes stalking through the night, looking for children that are bad and don't want to listen to their mother, or their mother and father, and they sneak in through the window, steal that child, and take them to the dark realm, where they will keep them captive or eat them. This is a story that's told in Spain. It's a lullaby that they tell children to scare them into listening, which sometimes is necessary. I would like to think sometimes it's good to have like an ace up your sleeve as a parent. And this is Spain's way, or one of the many ways, of trying to get their child to listen and be obedient. El Coco. It's told that they have a lullaby again, my pronunciation may not be just right, but it would go along the lines of dormete, niño, dormete, que viene el coco y te comerá. There's always many variations of a lullaby or a story, but it was along these lines. It's just like a warning to the child. You must listen to your elders, listen to your parents, or else El Coco will come and get you. Quite creepy. So like, and just another way, like, countries do similar things as each other, where we have a way of sharing this scary creature or being that's going to come get you if you don't listen. Again, not quite different from our country, our other countries, you know. Moving on. This intrigued me quite a lot, moving to the ghost stations of Barcelona. So there's two stations we'll be talking about. Gaudy Metro was actually a station that was made, but not utilized, which makes it even more interesting. This station was made, and then they decided that they didn't need it. Like, whenever they make plans for different metro stations and routes, sometimes certain ones don't get included. This was one of them. And it is said, like, on certain lines, you can see like glimpses of the station and see people there. But the station was never used. Keep that in mind. So people say that it's the station for spirits. Since humans never used it, the spirits can utilize it instead. That even gaudy is to be seen. That's cool. And creepy. Now the other one is the Rochefort Station. This one is kind of sad because there were a lot of suicides. Now, the station closes after a certain time and there's nobody showing up to those stations. But on the surveillance tapes, it is seen shadows and figures like they're waiting for the train. But it's closed and closed off. Could it be the people that had taken their life? Could it be anybody else? Maybe someone that had passed away on that station. You never know. Interesting. And creepy. But while doing research on this, I also stumbled along something I never even knew. That they actually have... They were air raid. Like... air raid structures, like where you could go to be protected from air raids and bombs during the Spanish Civil War. I was really intrigued by this. It was really cool. This is like a whole secret of underground for Barcelona. I never even knew about until I loved starting to do research on other people, like other countries' ghosts and spirits and such. In fact, while I was doing the research for this ghost story and the Gaudy station as well as the Rochefort station, it popped up that there's the air raid station shelters. And it's called Refugee 307, and it consists of 400 meters of tunnels that include bathrooms, a fireplace, a water fountain. And it's known to be a very good example of an authentic shelter for during war times. I never even knew it existed until I wanted to dive into this. So being curious does have its benefits, you know, looking for scary spirits and monsters, and I found something just quite intriguing as well. And I just wanted to share it with you guys. So let's move on to the vampire of Barcelona. So again, this lady was not a nice woman. She did these things out of the interest of just money. And she was a serial killer. But she gained the name of the vampire of Barcelona. Now, the reason why I brought it on as one of the monsters of Spain is because she is a monster. In reality, that's what she is. But also, I have an interest in serial killers. A healthy interest. I'm interested to know, like, why. Crazy. Especially, like, for the fact they named her the vampire of Barcelona. Vampire. Monster. So, here's the thing. This was in the 1800s. The 1868. She was a Spanish serial killer, kidnapper, prostitute, and did a lot of different mean things to children. Known to be a dark arts user. And the reason for that is because it was known that she would grind their bones to powder. For certain things, like potions, she would use the fat for moisturizers and use blood for potions as well. I guess that's where she fell into the main category of being the vampire of Barcelona. So keep in mind, guys, that just because someone was considered a vampire didn't mean they actually ingested the blood. But it's a possibility, of course. So she was a real life monster. She was a horrible person who used children for the benefit of herself and into dark arts. So that is all I have for Spain. That's all I could find as far as, like, because whenever you do research on Spanish speaking monsters and scary stories, they kind of like, some of them kind of like meld together. If you're talking about Spain, they talk about Chile as well as Guatemala, Argentina, and things like that. They all kind of go together a lot. There's a lot of different versions, and it's quite a rabbit hole. And we will do more other Spanish-speaking countries and go in more depth on certain other things, because there's a few monsters that I'm really intrigued with Chile, especially Guatemala as well. In fact, all of South America has some crazy cool characters, beings, and stories. We will be getting into that as well, you guys. Don't worry about that. But I'm going to wrap this up. Please, you guys, stay curious and stay tuned, because I will be doing superstitions next. The superstitions from Spain. Please be on the lookout for that video. I should be doing it tomorrow, and I can't wait to share it with you guys. It's pretty cool and interesting, the things that I found, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button and hit the subscribe button to go ahead and key into that superstition video. I'm sure you guys will find it just as intriguing as I do. And as always, stay curious, guys.